Welcome everyone to this video. In this video, I'll tell you how to fix a photo in Photoshop. It's gonna be a very fun video, so let's get right into it. So I've opened up this image. Link is in the description below. So let's go to filter and then convert for smart filters. Okay. And then let's go to filter and then camera raw filter. Camera raw filter is the best for color grading. So let's get into it. So first let's go to basic and let's see the temperature. So one thing I want to tell you that the only thing that I'm looking right now is this background. I'm not looking at this grass, and in a few minutes you'll know why. So right now I'm just like making the background look good, not this grass. So let's see what's looking good. So green and blue, like -28 and -39. Let's bump up the exposure a little bit and adjust a little bit of contrast. And I don't think we have to fiddle anything with the highlights, shadows, blacks and whites. Let's go down. Let's bump up the vibrance and let's add some texture and some clarity. Now let's go down and let's get a detail. Let's add some sharpening and noise reduction. Now let's go to color grading. So let's choose our midtones to be a bright green like this, and let's scroll down and make our shadows to magenta, I think. Or purple. Yes, purple looking good. Let's add shadows to purple and highlights to cyan. And now let's scroll down and go to effects and let's add some grain, and the grain is just for aesthetic. And let's add a vignette, like not that much, like only this much. You can see what this vignette is doing. Like it's like a vignette really makes an image's center pop out. So now let's hit enter. So here you can see this image is much better from the image before, which was this. So now here you can see it's much better. So now what I want to do is add a new layer and then go to brush, and now let's pick a bright green. And so obviously the grass wouldn't be bright green in the real world, so let's choose a color like this and let's paint out some grass. So we're technically adding color to the grass. And now let's change its blending mode, overlay and soft light. So soft light is looking better. You can see soft light is looking much better. We can reduce the opacity like just a tiny little bit. Now let's add a sky, because this sky is very dull. So this is not opening. Yes, so here it is. So this is our sky. So I'm on first Photoshop and let's drag it here. So this is our sky. So now let's hit Alt and stretch it. So it's just a little bit of stress, no one would notice. Let's hit enter, and now let's turn off both of these layers, and let's turn off smart filters as well. And now let's go to channels to create a channel mask. So if you're thinking, what is a channel mask? So obviously, if you want to add a sky, we want to have a selection of this sky. So obviously, having making the selection manually of these trees is literally impossible. So what I'll do is make a channel mask. So first you go to channels and then see which channel has the greatest contrast. So let's hit Control 3, which is the red channel, 4 green channel, and then the blue channel. So the blue channel has the greatest contrast, so let's add a little bit more contrast. So let's hit Control L, which is a shortcut for levels. Control L. Okay, so this is not working. I know the reason. Sorry, I don't know the reason, but just forget it. Sorry. So let's duplicate this channel and show this, hide this, and now let's Control L and see, this has come. So I knew the reason. So now let's add more contrast to it, and I think this is looking good. And now let's make a selection out of it. Now click on this icon right here. Now let's show RGB and hide this blue copy. Now let's get a layers. Show all of these layers. Go to the sky layer and make a mask. Amazing. Now here you can see some of that sky we can see in the grass. Let's hide it. Let's go to our paintbrush tool. And if you remember, on mask, black is equal to subtract and white is equal to add. So right now I'm on black as the foreground color, so make sure that black is on your foreground color, and let's subtract this ground like this, and to make an even more cleaner selection, there's a trick. So let's go to select. So let's select this mask and add the mode to be overlay. So just select the overlay mode, and here you can see it just automatically makes your selection a lot more cleaner. So now let's go to the move tool, and now let's get to adjustments and then to layers. So what I want to do is fade this sky a little bit because it's looking very vibrant. So let's clip it. So to clip this, I hold it down, Alt key, and waited and put my cursor in between these layers, and when this icon comes, just click, and then it creates a clipping mask. Here you can see this arrow. Now let's add some light like this, and I think we can even reduce the opacity of the sky, like the original layer sky. And now let's add another adjustment, not to only the sky but to the whole image, which would be a color lookup. So let's add, so you can see you can look all over these color lookups and just choose what suits the image best. But my personal favorite one that I use in basically all of this image is this one, Fuji F125 Kodak 2395 by Adobe.Q. So this is my favorite one. So I reduce the opacity just a little bit, 95%, and it just makes your image and a little bit more nicer. And the last adjustment that we will do is a color balance, because now there's a lot of green in the image. So let's reduce it, like go to magenta, like we can go to cyan and blue. This just makes a cinematic look. And I think our composition is done. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please do subscribe to our channel because it would help us immensely. Brainy Brothers are signing up for now. Bye bye. See you soon.